day of this match? Have you surprised you something?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the opportunity to bowl at Test match level has been a dream of mine for a while now, and the combination of the lineup of the side and obviously the Bangladesh side having a lot of left-handers presented the opportunity. So, and I think the way Timmy shuffled us around today was impressive and kept guys going for the right lengths of their spells and changed things up quite a bit. So I think it was fantastic from the boys all round.
Bangladesh batsmen also made your job easy.
Say again, sorry?
Bangladesh batsmen made your job easy.
Oh, I mean, a little bit. They came in quite hard at us early on, put AJs under a lot of pressure, and I think it did present the opportunity to take wickets throughout. But as we've seen in a lot of the subcontinent pitches, that you have to have a little bit of aggression about you in order to put bowlers off their line of length, and I think the Bangladesh boys did that really well today. But as you said, obviously it presented a few wicket-taking opportunities.
Glene, could you talk to us about the processes you went through before this test match? You've been bowling well during the World Cup as well. You're known to be a wicket-keeper batter, and now you're doing it with the ball as well. So, how has that developed, and, if you could let us into the process?
I've been trying to lose the wicket-keeper batter tag for a long time now, so hopefully this puts a little bit more of a stamp on things. But I've worked really hard over it for quite a number of years now, with pretty much this goal in mind. And also, in order to play Test cricket, I feel like I needed to offer something with the ball, as our batting lineup is incredibly strong. So to be able to play that all-rounder role, I think, was the key to being able to get an opportunity. And then a mix, as I said, of team selection and lineup, conditions, and everything just sort of worked out really nicely today. But as far as processes go, I've worked quite hard over the last few years trying to find a process for my bowling. Obviously, we have a process for batting, which I've trained for years and years, but to be able to, I guess, come in onto the biggest stage with the red ball and to be able to go back to the process and know that I can trust it and feel it coming out of the hand. Obviously, I got a little bit lucky early on, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and hopefully if you put in the work, sometimes that luck will go your way.
What's the mindset like in the team for players like you that have played in the World Cup and now in here? You probably haven't gone home, I'm guessing. So, all that travel, how has it been mentally and also physically to play for such a long time and in conditions that you're probably not used to at home?
Yeah, obviously we've been on the road quite a long time now. The World Cup was a really enjoyable experience, and a lot of us had our families over there. I had my wife with me personally, so I think coming into this tour, quite a few of us are still relatively fresh. And obviously the change of format brings a little bit of energy as well. To be able to not do the same thing as the last trip that we were on, I think reinvigorates that spark again, and it's a different passion, and it's very enjoyable to be out there with the lads and graft away, and obviously the start of a new Test Championship cycle as well. So I think the boys are up for it, and obviously a lot of the guys will be looking forward to going home after this tour, but for now we've got sights set here.
Glenn, is there also an element of the batters underestimating you in a bowling lineup that has a leg spinner and a left arm spinner? Does that also help you as a bowler? That's number one. And number two, you talked about Tim's captaincy, that he shuffled the bowlers around. What was one of the reasons? Was it to keep the bowlers fresh, or was it to keep the batsman always facing a new bowler after small spells?
I think on question one, maybe a little bit. Obviously with someone new that guys haven't faced before, there's always that element of unknown, and obviously being the fifth bowler, as a batter, I'd probably look to target myself as well. So I think maybe a combination of those two things presented the opportunity to take a few wickets today, which is really nice. But for me, the idea was to try and stick to the process, pass the baton on to the other boys, try and build dots, build pressure. Jazzy bowled unbelievably well. Both our seamers bowled incredibly well, and Ish obviously took that absolute specky of a delivery. So the pressure was built by everyone all around, and today I just received the rewards.
Number two, the question about.
Yes, the second one, Tim shuffling things around. I think it's obviously a mixture of understanding that there's 5 days of cricket to go with only 2 seamers, using them in short bursts, and understanding that Ajaz will probably bowl a lot of overs, hold an end for a while. Ish is going to be our impact bowler, and then I think to be able to have a ball turning in, mixing myself with Jazzy is probably an ideal scenario. Obviously, the combination of having some lefties in the top order allowed Ajaz to have a little bit of a break going through, but also I think credit to Timmy as well to understand what we as spinners also need from a confidence perspective. Like, for example, Ish, before he took that wicket, obviously didn't necessarily start off the way he would have liked, but few overs into it, feels a little bit more relaxed, starts ripping it really hard, and then obviously the reward comes. So the way he holds himself, the way he talks to us as bowlers, it's really encouraging, and you know, we back his decision making all the way.
Glenn, after you were sent in to bowl, what was your planning, and did the day go according to that? And what kind of total were you targeting to rest with Bangladesh to? And is the current total close to that?
I think at the end of any sort of first day of red ball cricket, if you're looking at about 300 for 7 or 8, obviously in our case 9, you're probably looking at a pretty enjoyable day. Obviously there were patches that Bangladesh really had us on the ropes, and we pulled it back nicely. We had some really good periods, and we showed that if we built a lot of pressure that we would get the rewards as well. So I think we'll probably walk away saying it was maybe a 50-50 day. We put in some really good yards, we had a lot of good plans and tried to keep as patient as possible, but obviously the batters are allowed to play good shots as well. So I think it's probably pretty even at the end of the day, and we'd be pretty happy.
A few months ago, Mahmoud was here, and Bangladesh thinks that they have scored enough runs for the first innings. What's your take on this?
You say they think they've scored enough runs for the first
Yes.
inning? Yeah, obviously the pitch is turning quite nicely. It's held together really well, I think, for day one. Obviously, with Sharaful being able to come over the wicket and create footmarks on the other side presents a new element to it for both the second innings for both teams. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how it plays going forward. But obviously we've got a long batting lineup of our own, and I think if we apply ourselves, that potentially the pitch should hold together for long enough that the first innings should hopefully be relatively equal, which should set up a quite nice final day or two, I think.
Nazrul and Shantu was smashing and spinning all around the park, and then you came and take his wicket. And the expression after that wicket, will you please take us to that specific moment?
I mean, I've dreamed of getting my first Test wicket for a long time, and that was not how I thought I was going to get it. So, you know, you see leg spinners often bowl absolute peaches and then a nice juicy full toss, and the batter's eyes light up and it goes straight up. And you know, I've always wanted a little piece of that, but I didn't want it from a first Test wicket. That, you know, the second one, maybe we can replace that with the first one. But no, obviously I've got out to full tosses. Every batsman's got out to full tosses, and today I just got a little bit lucky.
How's your knee now?
Yeah, it's more the hips. The knees actually held together quite nicely on that, but definitely the femurs drived up into the hips quite hard. So I might be a bit stiff tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.